It is my day off. I got a new job. What am I gonna smoke? Oh. Well, I guess I already decided, and I guess I put it in the thumbnail, and you already know what I'm gonna do, but I guess I'll go with the Plasencia. Oh, Alma Fuerte. Oh, hexagon press. Oh. I don't know, I'm gonna put it out. Alma Fuerte. What a perfect cigar, hopefully, for a special occasion. I've known about the new job for a while, but I haven't had a good day where I'm off work, where it's not storming outside. And now I've got a nice cloudy day, but it's going to keep the temperature nice and cool. It's not as humid as it's been, whereas for the past 2 weeks, I try to bring the camera out into my little cigar hut, and it just fogs up immediately. It's impossible. It's just been so difficult to, been fighting with God's nature to try to film videos, so it's nice to not really have to fight that much today. Fogged up a little bit, 2-3 minutes it was gone, so we're good. But the Alma Fuerte, man, this is a Nicaraguan Puro, and it is a 6x60, which is, makes sense, but I feel like with this press, kind of lends better to a 6x60. It's not so like other 6x60s feel. They just feel ridiculous, but 10-year aged tobacco in this sucker. Very excited, and I've never had a Plasencia in my entire life. So this is the most expensive cigar I've probably ever smoked. Honestly, I think the closest thing to it's maybe been a Padron, 1926 or 64. That was like 20, 21, 22 bucks. So this is exciting, man. Ooh, footband slid right off. Oh, I'm getting the weirdest scent off the foot itself. Is just it's almost like a peppermint, which is strange, but I don't know if that's the cigar or the shop that it was at for, I don't know. I don't like when cigar shops have such a strong smell to their store. It's like a new construction, and so their store has this sort of scent to it. But anyway, let's get it cut and lit up, man. Very excited. I've always wanted to smoke this hexagon press. It's ASMR. A little firmer on the draw, not tight or anything. Just a little firm. It's crazy to feel that hexagon press in your mouth when you're pulling and drawing on it. It's just a reminder that you're smoking an Alma Fuerte, dude. Alma Fuerte. Oh, flame is hitting the foot. I never smoke fancy schmancy cigars, and of course this is a celebration cigar, so that's partly reason, but the other one is, now I've got this channel, which gives me an excuse to, spend a little more on certain cigars sometimes. Obviously, as the channel name implies, I'm on a budget, so we gotta be careful with what we get. That looks pretty good. And I guess I'll cut this out, unfortunately. So right off the draw, I'm getting like a sort of that musty aged tobacco. It's not quite as musty as like a certain Padrones and things like that, but that sort of just musty aged tobacco. And I am getting that. It doesn't taste like peppermint, but it tastes the way it smells. But it smells like peppermint. It's weird. I think it's the shop. I can taste your cigar store in your cigar, which is not a good sign. So you should probably look into that if you own a cigar shop. But It was a nice shop. It was just maybe that'll go away as it opens up. Good cigar, great construction, but yeah, man, new job. That's exciting. It definitely pays more, which is super nice, and I'll be able to get a little more cigars, which is good and bad. So I'll probably go overboard, as you know, I usually do. But this new job, I will be working. If you know anything about me, I'm a ramper at a particular airline that's super high maintenance, super highly regarded. Everyone knows them for quality. Now, I'm not going to say which airline, just for the privacy sake, but it's well regarded in the industry as the highest standard. But the new gig is still airline, not airline, but airplane centered. I'll be around jets and stuff like that, charter jets, general aviation, prop planes, that kind of stuff, which is more so in line with what I want to be, around. Because working at the airlines, like, yeah, you get to talk to pilots sometimes, but you're in the everyday groove. There's no way to actually get to know them and ask them for any sort of advice or, any tips on flight school, anything like that. So, all right, I'm about 20 minutes in, and this Plasencia Alma Fuerte might be the worst cigar I've ever had in my entire life. In fact, it is the worst cigar I have ever had the displeasure of smoking in my entire life. No fault of Plasencia. Like burning, rotten plastic. That is the only note that is left lingering on my palate, is the smell of this shitty, new construction plastic smell. And I'm really upset that I spent $26 here, but I bought 2 cigars there, and the other one's like this weird Room 101 something. That was in cellophane, and it doesn't smell like that plasticky smell. This, obviously, I'm sure you're familiar, does not come with cellophane. That is the worst flavor I've ever experienced on a cigar, and I'm so F-wording bummed out that I didn't pick the My Father Blue for this occasion, and I'm this close to just letting this go out and going and grabbing that My Father Blue. What a bummer, dude. When you fucking don't have a shit ton of money and you want to celebrate a nice occasion, and that moment finally comes, and just for some stupid mistake like that to completely ruin a cigar like this, it's such a bummer, dude. God, that sucks, man. I'm just hoping with every drag or every draw that flavor is gonna just wash out, and it's only getting stronger. And it's the only thing I taste is this plastic. That's the only way I can describe it. It tastes like plastic that's been liquefied due to fire, and then I'm breathing that in. That's exactly what it tastes like. Well, I'm about 35 minutes in, and it's still that flavor. So I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but I messaged the shop on Instagram. I figured that was the easiest way to reach them, and I sent a voice message because I hate texting. Voice message is so much better than anything in the world. But told them what happened, and I told them I dealt with the guy's name at the shop, and he was super knowledgeable, super nice, great store, but maybe look into pulling these off the shelf. Maybe, I don't know, there's something wrong with this, and it's as wrong as it can possibly go. And they said, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'll make sure to let the owner know. But I'm hoping that they'll be like, come in, we'll swap it out for something of equal value. But dude, this is making me feel sick. So God, I can't bring myself to just set it in the ashtray, because I've been looking at this one for so long, man. And I was so looking forward to it, dude. That sucks, man. I waited all week and a half, 2 weeks for a nice clear day to just, spend it on this. So, I don't know. I gotta stop complaining. It's a first world problem. God's very nice to me. I got a new job. I get today off. I can finish whatever of this left I have, get a cup of coffee, go play Flight Simulator. Life's pretty good, so I shouldn't be complaining, but again, when you're just really working on a budget, this was splurging and I was super excited for it. So, I don't know, I'm gonna put it out. The worst cigar I've ever had in my life. Fuck, that sucks, dude. That hurts so bad. I can't look at it. I can't look at it. Damn it, dude. Whatever. It's just, I don't know. That blows. Maybe I'll try another one, but I'm kind of turned off to them right now. I'm not gonna risk another $26 to go in the trash can. So I'll leave it in the comments or something if they, make it right or whatever it is. Okay, so I found out what the issue was, and the shop replied, and they are going to replace it. I haven't got it yet. I just got done filming the video, but they replied. They said they checked the Alma Fuerte boxes, and certain boxes from Plasencia, they didn't let the lacquer on the box dry, and then they packed the cigars in, and certain boxes are affected, and they said they're going through them to make sure which ones are and which ones aren't. But that's exactly what it tastes like. I am big into guitars. My buddy builds them from start to finish. Freestyle woodworking, go check him out. But, so I'm familiar with the lacquer, smell. I was gonna say taste, but not really. It's the first time I've tasted it. But once they said that, I was like, that's exactly what, it's not really, it's plasticky, but it's just that chemical lacquer taste. So they say they're gonna replace it, and I'll let you know whenever I do go get a replacement. But I'm very happy that they're gonna replace that for me. So now I feel great about putting that cigar out. I feel a lot better. So and I will shout out the company, Burners Cigar Co. in Denver, North Carolina. Great selection, great guys. They're obviously replacing it, and they're obviously, a very nice store. And I'm glad it wasn't the humidor, because it smelled kind of like the humidor, but obviously when I walked in, it didn't didn't smell like burning plastic lacquer. So that was my best guess as to why it tasted bad. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So Burner Cigar Co. I'll put some photographs up on screen, and you can kind of check out what kind of selection they got. They're in Denver, North Carolina, and Mooresville, North Carolina. 2 locations. I've been to both very nice. But yeah, so check them out. They're honoring their return there, and that's very kind of them. So it's the least I can do is shout them out.